Is Loka's attack on India a kind of strategy of Pakistan to weaken the power of India? India wants to know. Nation wants to know. Watch live at 8 p.m. exclusively on ABC News. Hello, my name is Palak and I am from class 10th B. Today, I am going to express my views on the topic, is media a dying profession in India? Looking at our primetime anchors and senior journalists shouting and yelling on television screen, who would like to become a journalist? There was a time when journalists were respected and there was a boom in this profession. But if today anybody wants to become a journalist, he or she has a lot many questions in his head. And this is the reason why media is not in the bucket list of professions of most of the students. Yes, media is a huge business and a lot of money is pumped into to promote a political party or an anchor. But these points are only apt for mainstream media. Just by seeing these journalists shouting and yelling on television screen, we cannot say that the whole media fraternity is the same. There are many journalists who do ground level reporting and work hard day and night to bring out the real and true story. But their work is not acknowledged. Now, why are these journalists' work not acknowledged? The reason is us. Though we say that we do not consume news from these news channels or some newspapers because they serve as the non-credible news, but we consume news from those non-credible sources only because we are interested in watching sensational news. And media serves in the way which we want to consume the news. And you cannot deny this fact of consuming sensational news because if we compare the TRP ratings of Doordarshan and Aaj Tak is having the maximum TRP ratings. And over 90% of the people consume sensational news. This is not what I am saying. This is the data which is saying. And now the very recent example of suppressing true journalism and journalists is the detaining of Mandeep Punia, who is a freelance journalist and was doing ground level reporting on 26th of January 2020 during farmers' protest. He was detained for his true reporting. And now mainstream media can't be always blamed for or criticized for its reporting. It was criticized for its reporting on COVID-19, migrant laborers issue and farmer protest issue. Everyone was appreciated for their service during COVID-19, including doctors, nurses, which they deserve, except journalists. They were not at all appreciated for their service during COVID-19, though they equally worked very hard in awareing people about wearing masks and maintaining social distancing. And no one is even concerned about how many journalists lost their lives. And journalists in our country are not at all safe. They receive death threats and rape threats for their true reporting. And had our Indian journalists be so propaganda lovers, then Indian journalists like Ravish Kumar would not have won the Asia's premier and highest honor of Raymond Magsaysay Awards. Or Sucheta Dalal would not have exposed the biggest scam of financial world, that is the Harshad Mehta scam. Ravish Kumar, after winning Raymond Magsaysay Awards, mentioned this in his speech that Indian media is in the state of crisis. And now somewhere or the other, we are also responsible for the death of Indian media. So we all are aware of the importance of media in our democracy, and it is also considered as the fourth pillar of democracy. Now, the point is that it is our responsibility to promote true journalists and credible sources of media so that media doesn't become a threat to nation, rather helps in welcoming a democracy free of corrupt political practices. Because till media is free and alive, nobody is free to do anything wrong. So now it is our responsibility to prevent media from becoming an extinct profession. Our democracy is strong as long as media is strong. Thank you.